Good evening, ladies and gents, how you all doing out there? So I am going to be playing through the first level of Battlefield 1. If you don't want to see it, turn off now, because it is the entire level unedited and exactly what you're going to be expecting from it. This is by far the best single player level I have played in a long damn time. Now, starting off with, the graphics are absolutely stunning. Look at the lighting effects, look at all the detail, everything runs beautifully. Now this is on high settings because I was recording, however played it on ultra to begin with, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Honestly, it is such a beautiful game with so much detail and so much clarity, and the developers at DICE and EA have actually spent so long making sure everything is realistic, it's looking as good as it can be. It's absolutely fantastic. The sounds and everything of all the guns and stuff, they've spent a long time doing as well, because they're all very realistic. They're exactly how they would be. That proper clang of metal like it would have been. You hear the bullets buzzing by you as well, all that kind of stuff. It is absolutely incredible. Gets you really involved in the game, and you do really feel involved and engaged with it. So Battlefield 1 is obviously set in the World War I era, and this is probably the best level to actually introduce you to World War I, especially if you don't actually know much about the warfare. So World War I was pretty much just trench warfare, or just pushing one side back and the other side would then push back against them, and it would just be relentless pushing to and froing for years. It could be years. In some years, literally the amount of ground that some sides actually covered was literally calculated as a couple of feet, 6-10 foot. It was ridiculous. The amount of people that actually died in this conflict as well is second to only World War II. It is absolutely ridiculous, the amount of people that died in this war, and that's Europeans, French, Americans, British, Germans. There's so many different countries and nations involved in this warfare. It was absolutely ridiculous. So this starter level really does introduce you to the game very nicely. It gets you involved in a lot of gunplay straight off of the bat. Actually does give you a couple of tutorial tips as well, so if you're not sure and you've never played a Battlefield game, it does break you in. However, it's a very nice level to be broken into. All the history that you're actually learning straight off the bat, because you're actually experiencing the warfare of how it would have been with the weapons they used. It's obviously coupled with that, with all the actual gameplay side of it and everything, is really, this is such a well thought out level. It really is, because it's just fantastic. What happens is you are initially holding the line. Your first soldier actually dies, as they would do. You then go back to the next line of people trying to hold that line, and then finally back to your base, where you start actually then advancing in a tank to actually start pushing forward and trying to regain a bit of the lost ground. Now the flamethrowers are so difficult to take down. They're so difficult, but this is exactly how it would have been in the actual conflict as well, because they would have been heavily armoured just so they could actually get in and clear lines out. So when your soldier actually dies, it comes up with their name and their date of birth, and obviously the year they died, which is a very nice touch. It actually really hits home actually how young some of these guys were that were dying in this conflict. You got 18 and 19 year olds, and actually you did have some 16 and 17 year olds in the actual conflict, but just honestly, it really does hammer home. When I've actually played this level through 3 times, because I've had a bit of trouble capturing it. However, every time it's really actually struck a chord how young some of these guys are, and the positions and the horrors that they found themselves facing in this war is absolutely horrifying, and you just couldn't wish it upon your worst enemy, some of the things that these people went through. And a level like this, I think, actually does highlight how horrible this war was. This is by far one of the horrible, the worst wars ever imaginable. The gas going around and the fact that so many people were dying daily. It's a horrible, horrible place to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just shut up. I'm going to let the level play out from here. So there won't be any more commentary. However, I really do highly suggest you watch the rest of the level because it is really gripping, intriguing, and it's a very enjoyable level to actually watch as well as play. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave me a like down the bottom and a comment. That would be fantastic. Expect loads of multiplayer footage coming up as well, because I am absolutely loving this. If you want to actually get involved in the game right now, you don't need to have pre-ordered it. All you need to do is go onto EA Access, either on Origin on PC or on your console, and subscribe for EA Access. It's $3.99 per month, so for £4 you actually get a 10-hour trial of this. Everything that you do in this game will carry on if you actually end up buying the full version, which is very nice. I really do suggest it. I really highly suggest that actually. At £4 is definitely worth playing this level over and over again. Really looking forward to playing more of the single player actually, because this level has offered so much. It's a very good sign for what the rest of the single player offers. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.
Instead of adventure, we found fear. And in war, the only true equalizer is death.